everybody, I'm Han, we are Azio Online, and today we have a very special casing we want to show everybody. This is the Cougar Gemini T Pro. Let's get started! Now let's talk about a few unique features of this casing before we get into the technical as well as the specs and clearance for this casing. Now the casing itself comes with two glass panels, both from both sides, and they'll be able to be opened up into a T shape, giving the name of this casing, the Gemini T Pro. It also comes included with the Cougar Trilux RGB LED strip, a feature that is very unique to the Cougar Gemini lineup of casing, which runs across the front as well as the top of this casing. Now onto the size of the Cougar Gemini T Pro. The Cougar Gemini T Pro is a mid-tower ATS casing that's measured at 227 x 535 x 527 mm in width, height and dimension, and weighs in at about 11.12 kg. So it is a rather bigger casing and heavier for a mid-tower casing. Now the front of this casing is able to support upward of 3 120mm fan. Top will be able to support 3 120mm fan as well. The side will be able to fit 2 120mm fan, and the back will be able to fit 1 120mm fan. The front and top will be able to fit 2 140mm fans as well, so that's nice to see. On to the radiator support for this casing. This casing is able to support a radiator size of 360 at the front and at the top. However, do take note, if you are intending to put a radiator at the front, the side radiator or fan mount will have to be removed, and vice versa. The side will be able to support a radiator size of 240, and the back will be able to support a radiator size of 120, like most casings. The casing itself is also able to support a tower cooler of 170mm in height. So even most twin tower cooler will have no issue onto this massive casing. Now on to the power supply clearance. The Gemini T Pro is able to support power supply length of upwards of 200mm. So even the biggest size power supply like the Cougar RM or HX series will be no problem for this casing. The casing is also able to support graphic card of upwards of 400mm in length in both horizontal and vertical placement. However, for horizontal placement, you will have to remove the side fan or radiator mount as well in order to fit a 400mm graphic card. Whereas for vertical, you will have no problems at all. The graphic card will be quite near to your tempered glass if you place it in a vertical configuration. However, it is quite nice to see that you don't have to buy additional brackets in order to use a vertical graphic card for this casing, as it is included. In terms of the front I/O, you will get, of course, your power button, a RGB button to control your Trilux RGB in case you cannot sync it with your motherboard. In terms of front I/O, you will be getting the standard power button as well as an RGB button for you to adjust the RGB color of the Trilux LED strips in case your motherboard cannot support ARGB sync. 2 USB 3.0 and 1 USB Type-C. It also comes with a SATA connection for you to power the Trilux RGB strip, as well as an ARGB header with both female and male to allow you to daisy chain with other ARGB components that you might have, which is nice to see since you may run out of ARGB on certain builds, especially if you're going with a 9-fan setup. Cable management space on this casing is good, with lots of space around the back, as well as a lot of cutout in areas for cable management. The back of this casing will also be able to house 3 2.5-inch SSD or HDD with its mount. And it also is able to support upwards of 2 3.5-inch hard disks. Now onto the pricing of the Gemini T Pro. The Gemini T Pro costs 699 ringgit, and for that you'll be getting a case with a lot of upgradability as well as a lot of expansion spaces. Since you'll be able to fit in upwards of 9 fans and have virtually no trouble with any clearance on this casing. Overall, the Gemini T Pro is certainly a casing for you to keep in your shortlist if you're looking for any high-end casings to suit your high-end build. And if you'd like to get your hands on this casing, feel free to find us through WhatsApp or Facebook. That's all from us today. Thanks everybody, stay safe and goodbye!